Hey guys, James here with UFSU University, coming back at you with another profile. This time we're going to cover my Taisei deck that I took to the Rockford BTC. I went 4-3 over the weekend. Had a couple rough matchups with the two players I went with and one of my other rounds. But overall, I felt like the deck really performed really well. And Taisei being an underrated character, I think needs to see some love. So I want to show you guys what I built. Okay guys, we'll get into my Taisei deck. Taisei 1 dot is an 8-hand size 2 vitality character with Death, Life, and Order. We're playing him under Order. We played him under Order during the weekend. His static first ability says, at the beginning of the game, you search your deck for one copy of Taisei 2 dot, and you start with him. And then E, once per turn, your non-throw attack gains gauge 1, and then your next gauge attack ignores progressive difficulty. Taisei 2 dot has a static that says he can't be sealed, which means Taisei 1 dot can't be sealed, which is pretty nice. And then choose one copy of Taisei 2 dot in your staging area to become your starting character. Remove one Taisei 1 dot from the game before you would be reduced to below 1 or, die. You cancel the vitality loss and return back to maximum vitality, which him being your starting character is now 8. So you go from, before you die as a 2-hander, or a 2-life character, you remove Taisei 1 dot, become this 5-hander, gain back up to 8, and cancel vitality loss. The biggest part about that ability is you cancel vitality loss, which means if your opponent killed you with an attack and not like burn damage or something, you don't let them get momentum. Like, you cancel them from getting momentum, which is really good. He controls momentum very well. It's really cool. And then his other ability is E. Your gauge attack gets +1 damage for each copy of Taisei 1 dot in your removed from game pile, which sometimes you can get a lot of them, but other than that, don't worry about it. We're playing 3 Taisei 1 dots to go with it. Obvious, of course. Okay, so we'll get into the actual deck. We're playing for Demon Realm Awakening. Protects us from throws. If we block a throw with it, it deals no damage. And then after blocking, we can remove it to draw 1 card. Just keeps cards in our hand for defense, as well as just take less damage. Same reason why we're playing Prepared Fight. Prepared Fight says if we partial block something, we take 0, which is very nice as a 2-life character. We're playing 2 Omega Sword and Elk Shield. It's very good in blocking things partially that we would normally take half on that we don't want to. Basically, we can partial block some 40-odd damage missile launcher and only take 1 damage. It's pretty nice. The other ability works really well with our deck as well. E, twice per turn, flip 1 foundation. Both players commit 1 face up. You'll see why that matters in a minute when we get to the attacks. Same thing with Kian. You'll see why this is really good. But after we play a weapon attack, it gains stun 1. Very, very good in our deck, because all of our attacks are weapons. We're playing for Hyper Bomb. Hyper Bomb is your best leadoff attack with Taisei right now. Stun 2, 3 low for 5, so it's a zone mix-up. If it's blocked, you draw. If it's not blocked, you'll draw a card. And if it's partially blocked with Taisei, what I like to do a lot is give it gauge 1. So if it's partially blocked, you'll get 1 character off of Taisei, which is really cool. And if it's not blocked, you'll draw and get a character. It's really cool. It's really sick. And then its other ability is E, commit 1 foundation. If your opponent has more vitality than you do, again, you're a 2-life character, boys and girls. You're a 2-life character. How in the world are they going to have less vitality than you? Unless they're dead. But if they have more vitality than you, you destroy 1 foundation committed by this Hyper Bomb. So you get to control them early game, as well as stun them out late game. We're playing 3 Frost Hammer. That's a cool stun 1. Gets speed off of our seal, and we play 3 Deep Freeze as well. So like the sealing really helps and gets damage for all of the committed foundations. It could be a cool kill card or just a cool mid-range, mid-game stunning card. But we're definitely in love with Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is a 3/7 that basically stuns 3 with 1 momentum and seals 3 cards we don't like. So the way it works is we would just really want to stun our opponent's board, playing Deep Freeze, Hyper Bomb, and Frost Hammer. We just stun them out so we can get to play the other cool cards in our deck. We play 4 Ashen Claws. Ashen Claw says we freeze 1 of our opponent's committed foundations. So early game, it's very good to just slow them down, freeze their foundations after committing with like Hyper Bomb. It has gauge 4, so if it deals 4, we get to get ourselves a character. It's really good with the way Taisei 1 dot works, where he says your next gauge attack ignores. So like you lead off with Hyper Bomb, do cool things, build 3 foundations, Then you get to play Ashen Claws for free. They're not expecting it because you built 3 and then played this. And like if they decide not to block you, you get to gauge at the end of the turn and get more characters. It's just really, really easy to do. We're playing 3 Chaos Scissors. If you play this the same way you play Ashen Claws, like Hyper Bomb, build 3, play this. It's really neat because they'll waste a low block on Hyper Bomb, obviously for obvious reasons. And then this card has an ability that says, first E, your opponent must show you a low block just to be able to block this as a cost. As a cost, they have to show you a low block to block it. So as a high, you have to have a low to even attempt. Which, if they waste their low on Hyper Bomb, they don't have it for this. You deal 6 and get to gauge, which is just really nice. And lastly, the best card in the deck, Dust for Dust. I am not joking with you. This is the best card in the deck. If you have if you have at least 2 characters in your staging area, this card ignores progressive difficulty. It's a 6/3. It doesn't have a block, but who cares? It's a 4 mid for 5. Enhance. Search your deck for 1 gauge attack and add it to your hand. Your opponent may commit one of their foundations and freeze it to cancel. So that's the reason that Hyper Bomb, your Frost Hammer, and your Deep Freeze come in handy. You want to stun out their entire board, make them commit out, and then you just get to play Dust for Dust for free at the end of your chains. Nice, simple, cool attacks. This is just very good in general, just because like this is 20 damage on its own. So like if they waste their energy half blocking or just blocking in general, this is 20 damage on its own, which kills a lot of 7-handers. And like if you haven't used Taisei 1-Dot's ability yet, you can use Taisei 1-Dot to be able to play 1 more attack for free, and then on the last one search like a Chaos Scissors and get 6 more damage. It's just really, really cool. One of my favorite things to do was literally just Chaos Scissors. Like I would, at the end of like my deck, just run low on cards and then play cards to mill my deck to then just get to play Dust for Dust again. Like if I cycled them out. It was just really fun all weekend to just repeatedly play more than 3 Dust for Dust in a turn. We're playing, because of how defensive we have to be, we're playing 4 damage for Grandma. It's just a spam that says R flip before the block step of your opponent's non-powerful attack. Reduces damage to X, where X is your maximum vitality divided by 3. So as Taisei 1-Dot, your maximum vitality divided by 3 would be 0.67. Rounded down would be 0. So as Taisei 1-Dot, you reduce damages to 0 by not blocking. You don't block and take nothing. We're playing 2 Retreat Arctica for the same reason. Take 0 damage, live longer as an 8-hander. Because we get to have 2 characters at the start of a turn, we can practically commit anything we want with Suspicious Mr. X, besides 3 diffs and 4 diffs, which is fine. If we start building 3 and 4 characters, like if we consistently build 3 and 4 characters, you get to commit Rimless, get to commit Selinka, Mad Pro if somebody's playing Mad Pro at 5. It's one of the reasons I contemplated playing a second 2-Dot, was just to have 6 characters to be able to commit regular characters. Like just the ability to do that is just nuts. We're playing 1 Radical Edward. Gets rid of pesky assets like Swordfish, as well as if we check it, we just get a cool mid block to our hand. 2 S-Class Hunter. It kind of soft counters them stunning their own Sensimorals. So like if they stun Sensimorals just to play it, they have to pay 2. Just really, really cool. As well as just like preemptively stunning things on their turn, to where on your turn you have to stun less things to get your cool kill turn off. We're playing 2 $500 sunglasses. If we block with it, we take 1 only. We only take 1, which is really nice as a 2-life character. As well as just getting to, on our opponent's turn, commit more of their cards to make our turn easier. Because Missile Launcher decks do exist, Nightmare Tears. Nightmare Tears just says we block for free. And then E, your turn, you can flip it. And your opponent commits one of their foundations and freezes it, which either slows your opponent down if you need him to slow down, or commits more cards to get cool Dust for Dust turns off. To elongate our turns, we're playing God of Thunder. God of Thunder just destroys a foundation or ready another. It's really good with how Dust for Dust works if we get to play it, because Dust for Dust is on 6, check a 5, commit something, destroy 1, ready another, play a second Dust for Dust, check a 5, commit, do it again. You can just As long as you check 5s, you don't have to commit as much. It's really, really good. For Demon Hide, one of the banes to our deck is them sealing, them flashing Dust for Dust, or them flashing a lot of times Deep Freeze. So this just prevents us from getting flashed. It's really nice. You play your attack, you seal it, you make it to where they can't give it keywords, and then use Deep Freeze to seal their High Seas Adventure. 2 What Lies Ahead works really well with Taisei 1 Dot's ability to give it Gauge 1. So you give it Gauge 1, then use this to commit, and then if it's completely blocked, it still deals 1, so you get to trigger Taisei. Engage. Left to Die. Left to Die says if after an attack is not blocked, you can add 1 face down foundation from your staging area to your hand. Works really well with Errands for Grandma. You choose not to block, reduce something to 0, left to die, pick it back up. It's really nice. As well as just being able to ready it if you have extra momentum. One of the scariest cards we get to face against is Bebop Blues. Not Bebop Blues, but Bang. The problem with Bang is it doesn't ever seal our character because it can't. The problem is we use errands to not block things, which means we don't block, which means we die to Bang. Bang just kills us. So we need some outs to Bang, so Bebop Blues. I have a side deck. It's playing 2 more of these. I'll show you that at the end of this. But Bang is really hard for us. For Feifei, just good defensive speed neg. We give them -3 speed. Block easier. Nice and simple. 2 Securing His Destiny. Be able to turn off big attacks we don't want to deal with. We want to protect Errands for Grandma and our other foundations we like. So Ageless and Wise, cool spam low block that does that. And Pursuing a Vendetta, a 3 high block that also does that. And then Clash of Colossus. Clash of Colossus is one of my cool techie options I've played. It says if both of our characters are committed, we both discard our entire momentums. Which is really nice because I can just choose to commit my character and not care. And then in the Dejanet matchup, if they decide to attack me, I just ditch all of our momentum. Block, live long enough hopefully, have them have no momentum, and play attacks for free. Okay, so now I'll get into my side deck. We're playing 2 Silence. Silence basically turns off Sense of Morals, which is really what it's for. I play a lot of stun, and my deck is dependent on you not having ready foundations. So turning off Sense of Morals is very, very good for us.
Hey James, the camera's about to run out of battery.
Solid.
Okay.
I'm going to finish this.
Yeah, hurry up. That's what I was trying to say.
2, 1. And so like it turns off Sense of Morals. So it just says flip cards that have 2 or more copies. So if there's more than 1 Sense of Morals, we just turn off all of them. Just get rid of them. An extra Classic Colossus for the Dejanet matchup, which I never played against. Never played a Missile Launcher deck, so Nightmare Terrors never did anything. Never played against Bang, so Bebop Blues never did anything. And I did side this a lot. I sided Mega Sword, Omega Shield, Elks, whatever. Sword and Shield. I sided Sword and Shield to make sure I could be more defensive. The problem was sometimes you just get 4 attacks played on you on turn 0 with no foundations, and you die. So sometimes maybe you need more Sword and Shield. So that was the Taisei profile, guys. Make sure to check out the other content on our channel. If you want to see more profiles from the PTC, go and look at those. If you have a profile you want to see, like a character you thought was really cool, like Eugenia gets no coverage. If you want to see Eugenia deck, let me know. But any of those characters, anything you want to see, let me know in the comments. And as always, stay alert.